Andor Season 2 is slated to release on April 22nd of this year. That is extremely close, and I cannot be more excited. The first season was easily my favorite Star Wars anything I've ever seen before. The way that they really introduced us to a different side of the Star Wars galaxy, showing us the grassroots of the rebellion and the small things that really make up the entirety of what Star Wars is, the behind the scenes, the curtain being pulled back if you will. Thus, I want to break down the trailer and kind of give my thoughts about what I see and maybe potential things that might happen in Season 2. First off, I think it's really interesting that each episode is going to have a 3-year time skip, and the purpose of this is to really build up to the beginning of Rogue One. The directors have made it clear that Andor will lead directly into Rogue One, and so I'm so curious and interested to see how they will make this story flush together and really flourish under this specific constraint. Now, other than the really wonky, wacky country song that they use in this trailer, I feel great. I feel like there were so many seeds that were planted that give us a great idea into what this season will amount to. First off, I thought it was really interesting how there was a specific lack of dialogue. There were only 5 or so specific moments where characters were actually talking. Most of the words that appeared in the trailer were words from critics. I feel like this is because they want to give acclaim to the Star Wars viewership that didn't give this show a chance when it first aired, since it didn't have any of the big names such as Skywalker, Kenobi, or anything else related. Going into specific things that I noticed within the trailer, I realized that there was a lot more scenes of Bix, and I feel like this is really cool. I love the actress that plays Bix, and I think that it was kind of a shame that she didn't have more scenes in the first season, so it's great to see that she's going to have a higher amount of involvement in this season. Unfortunately, I do believe she will be killed off solely because she is not apparent in Rogue One, and so when you know what's kind of coming up, then they have to either send her away somewhere or unfortunately kill her off. Talking about Bix, we must also reference Dedra, Luthen, and Cyril. These are the 3 main characters that were introduced in Andor Season 1 and that don't feature in Rogue One. Thus, something must happen to kind of take them out of the situation, very similar to Bix. I noticed that in this trailer specifically, all 3 of these characters only appeared once or twice, really minimizing their role as they had such crucial involvements in the first season. I'm really curious how the writers will go about sidelining them in a way that doesn't feel forced but also super organic. I thought it was really cool how they inserted Krennic into this. I'm curious if it's just like a cameo or if it's really a fully fleshed out role. I believe it is a fully fleshed out role since they showed it to us in the trailer, because now the audience is expecting something big. As we know, he has such a large involvement in Rogue One. I think it's really cool that they took the time, got the actor, and played him into this perfectly. As far as another character, Mon Mothma, who we know sticks around for a while in the Star Wars canon, it's going to be interesting to see her involvement in this entire story, as she is one of the few characters who knows who Luthen is and his whole side, and so I'm curious how she will kind of break out of her mold and set up her own story in the following movies in the franchise. I'm also really curious to see the backstory behind Andor in K2. That's the Imperial droid that we see with him in Rogue One. I'm certain that it's going to be amazing how they do it. It was kind of cool how they faked us out at the end of last season where we thought it was K2 the whole time, but no, it was just a regular Imperial droid. So I'm certain that they're going to have some sort of flashback or some sort of trauma that Andor is going to have, but this time he's going to be more prepared. Based upon the flow of the trailer, I'm pretty confident that they're going to have a lot more heists as well. It seems like there's a lot of moments that have that same feel of Season 1. I think that's my favorite part of Season 1, how there were heists but at different levels in every single part of the show, and so I'm really happy that that is something that they're going to be incorporating into the second season as well, since they did it perfectly in the first season, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm super excited to see the conclusion of the show. Yes, I'm disappointed that this show only will have 2 seasons, but I think it's brilliant that they're not trying to force more content out of it, and that they started this show with a clear start and end goal in mind. I really hope that Steve Gilroy, the creator and director of the show, hopefully gets more chances in the Star Wars universe. People, they really need to take notes. Even Marvel could take notes from this guy. He absolutely killed it and smashed it. And I know this is kind of talking ahead of turn, but I'm so confident that he will body Season 2 as well. Please let me know how you guys are feeling down below. And as always, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.